Hello, listening audience, and welcome back to Toonkind at 12 Frames Perspective. Yeah, wow, okay. Watch it out the gate.
It's all good. It's all good.
We are so professional, gang. Hi. Welcome back to Toonkind at 12 Frames Per Second. I am Rowan Gale, and this is your message to don't D&D while distracted. Do not D&D while under the influence. The influence here being job hunting. Anyway, welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. I am joined today by the fantabulous and no longer jet lagged, hopefully.
Eh. Hi, I'm RJ. Um, I'm playing Raphael Alejo, the father of one particular bird boy who is fucking looking for his son. You may make comparisons to that certain fish meme if you desire.
I've never seen my son. But instead of a fish, it's an entire guy. Well, the fish
Real.
is an entire guy in his own paradigm, but that's something. Anyway,
The fish doesn't have
we're not
fingers,
here
though.
to talk about the semantics of Finding Nemo.
True. Real.
Is fingers required for being a guy? Is that
Fingers
where
required.
we're drawing the taxonomic line of
Fingers is
guy?
required for being a human.
Wow, can't believe anybody who's had their fingers amputated is no longer a human.
No. If they got prosthetics, they're a cyborg.
Behold a beast.
Gotta get them graspy fingies. But, however, they did at one point have fingers, ergo, human. We're getting very distracted. We should just start.
We are here to play Dungeons and Dragons. And so
Yes.
far we are not doing that. So let's fix that problem. We are here to play Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons we shall play. So,
Yes.
It is yet another not so sunny day in lovely Halloween Town. Memoir is doing his best, post Slay the Memory, blissfully unaware of honey, you got a big storm coming on the horizon. Shit is happening. Nickel Squad plot. Pay attention. Shit's going down. But there's thing that as of today, it's just a nice day. Mostly. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For sure. A little overcast, because it
Anyway,
always is a
since
little
Raph
overcast
joined,
in Halloween Town, but, there we go.
fair and in fact valid. And this is where I get to ask you a question, RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Given the context of the gestures that slay the memory,
Yeah.
how's Raph doing? How do you feel on, having that happen, waking up from that? What's his thought process?
Um,
How's he doing?
oh shit. What the fuck was that? Back to oh shit again. And then he got up from where he had collapsed over his desk, um, fucking fumbled for his blindfold, and started beelining it as fast as his fucking negative con ass can get, over to Halloween Town.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
It took him a minute, because his office is on the other side of the fucking island. However,
Yeah, it's a bit of a trek.
it's a bit of a trek, and unlike the other main character of this FPS, he can't transition walk because he is a real kind. So he had to walk and then teleport and then walk some more. So
Memoir has been trying to teach him. It's not working.
it's not working. Real kind can't do that.
Well, he can do it when he's with Memoir.
You can do it when he's with Memoir because Memoir's there. He can't do it on his own.
That's quitter talk. Anyway.
It's called playing by entirely different rules. Anyway. It's a lovely day in Halloween Town. Please make me a perception check.
Alrighty, I can do that. I can do a Persepi. Where the fuck is your Persepi on here? What? Why is your sheet so long now?
Because fuck you, that's why.
Well, fuck you too. Anyway, D20 plus 4. I'll break him here. Eh. 7.
7.
It's a 7.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I don't even need to roll because he will beat that regardless of what I do. Please now make me a dexterity saving throw. Or, no, actually, make me a strength saving throw. This would be strength.
Oh god. I mean, neither is great, but strength is worse. Okay.
11.
11.
Okay. 8. Good news is, you don't get knocked over. It's only because Raphael himself is, not hefting a lot of weight. You are getting, like, snagged by the shoulders, though, by your father, who I just realized is an entire fucking foot taller than you. Oh my god, okay. Hi, Raph's here. he's checking you, making sure you're okay.
Uh, yeah, God, yeah, he is an entire, like, head taller. Yeah, no, Raph, comes out of nowhere, grabs Memoir. Memoir makes a very surprised, very undignified, like, squawk noise. Uh, and is kind of, like, immediately on guard, like, what? Huh? Oh, 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 God. Dad, don't scare me like that. Good lord. Kind of taking your head off.
You can't reach that high. And then he just pulls you into a hug.
That remark also hi, and you are getting a hug back. Big ol' hug, wings included.
Roll me another perception check, this time at advantage.
Okily dokily. Um. mm, mm. No, wait. There's a space there. Eh, mm, mm. Yes, I know there's a way you can do it to make it do it automatically. I don't remember that. That's a 22.
That's how you do that. 22. Okay, yeah. So Raph has pulled you in tight, and is pressing his nose into your hair, which is probably why you catch this. But his inhale is shaky, and then he just quietly murmurs, "Please don't scare me like that again."
I'm sorry. It's hardly like I did it on purpose.
He just hold you a little bit tighter.
I'm sorry. We really gotta stop doing this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Can Memoir roll medicine? Because Memoir knows his dad, and for his dad to be bolting across town is a little concerning.
Yes, you can roll medicine.
Because he wants to make sure his dad's okay. Oh, come on!
Roll again. I don't see it. Nothing there.
Please. Dang it, there's supposed to be a space there.
Roll again. Use parser. Do we have parser? I think we have parser.
We don't have parser.
We don't have parser. Okay. Roll again.
And even
Fucking god!
for fuck's sake! I'm using my real dice. Screw this.
Oops.
The bot hates me.
Oh fuck! Yeah, use your real dice.
There, 18 plus 4.
Thank God. Okay. Yeah. No, Rap's okay. It's probably not difficult to put together that it took him so long to get here because he was pacing himself. Um, be a little bit hypocritical if he showed up here practically collapsing, but yeah, so no, he's doing okay. He was just very scared. And you are welcome to roll insight on that if you want.
Sure. And since I have it out now, I am going to stick to the real dice because Dice Parser is being not Dice Parser. Dice Parser isn't here. Dice Parser is Mr. Not appearing in this picture.
Alright. No, we do have Dice Parser.
Dice Parser doesn't like me. Remember, we tried to get Dice Parser to work for one of our FPSs, and it was being a little bitch.
Fair enough.
Okay. That is... Oh, shit, not bad. 19 plus, what is your insight, you silly, silly bird, plus 12.
Nice, okay. 31.
31.
Nice, okay. So. Um. Hey. Hey. So. Okay. What's the best way to put this? So. You know Raph's history. He's told you his history. He told you what happened to his girlfriend, the woman he was going to propose to and ask to marry him. You know what happened with that. It's not difficult to put together that maybe possibly caused some bad memories to flare up this whole situation. Especially now that you guys have a permanent bond, which is something he's not had since Chihiro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Memoir is kind of starting to put that together, and just he hugs Raph a little tighter. I'm here. I'm all right. Nothing out of place. Promise.
I don't know if you can say that with this new design. Kind of by definition, things would be out of place because there were new places.
Okay. Semantics. Hey.
We're lawyers. That's what we deal in. But he will actually step back a little bit to take a proper look at you, not just looking over for injuries, but like actually checking out said new design.
Mm-hmm. And I still don't think Memoir is like in, full fancy clothes yet. He's probably in, basically his equivalent of casual dress, which is still probably a little more dressy than most people would go for.
Mm-hmm. Slacks and a button down.
So
instead of with the whole vest and the 9 yards.
no, he's got like the black compression halter top, and then cargo pants, the kind of stuff that he usually wears to wear around town. But he hasn't got his boots on because trying to figure out how to not high heel boots. How to wear high heel boots with cargo pants. Difficult. Difficult to make that look balance. So he's just got claws.
God, he really is in shorty mode then.
He really is in what?
Shorty mode. Don't the boots add like an extra foot of height?
They used to. The ones he gave Lynn add an extra foot of height. These ones just add a little bit extra. Because, his design's no longer quite so flexible.
Mm.
But yeah, no, he is full short king.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of picks up on what Raph's doing and kind of holds his arms out to either side in sort of a you know, character sheet A pose. Um, if you'd like, you can roll either perception or medicine, or
Um, we're
investigation
we're gonna
or
go with
medicine.
perception because that's the better one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I get that. That's fine. Okay. Just double checking. I'm gonna say this is enough to trigger that. um,
Oh
right.
no.
His subclass gets a feature called Steady Eye at level 9. Gains advantage on perception checks. Oh no, that's for specific stuff. Never mind. Never mind. It's just the regular stuff then.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. 26. Because I rolled mid.
You rolled perfectly mid.
I rolled perfectly mid. Well, not quite perfectly. The deeds 4 would have had been a 2 for that, but yeah, mid.
um, so that's a 26. All right, so hmm. Flavoring this as perception rather than investigation or medicine. Um, hmm. So the good things to start off.
Mm-hmm.
This is still very much a memoir.
Mm-hmm.
This is very much a partially bird, partially boy.
Bird boy.
Um, bird boy. This is still very much your son. Um, the best way I can put it is that his design seems a lot more integrated than it was last you saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you've known Memoir pretty much his entire life. You knew Memoir back when he was Lethe, and you've seen how his design has changed over time, and there's always been something of a lack of proper transition between each design
Mm-hmm.
or each new element that gets added. Whenever something new got added to Memoir's design in the past, it always stuck out and it always got added in very jarringly. The most distinctive one would have been when he came back from that Halloween party and his arms had turned completely to ceramic. Um, with those, the point of transition literally looked like scar tissue with how the flesh twisted and became ceramic.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of cut together look to his design is kind of gone. Everything has kind of smoothed over and seemingly found a way to fit into place and smooth together to create a more cohesive idea, an idea that kind of looks like it was put together with intentionality rather than just adding more things over time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing you would notice, because even to, how your sight is impaired, it would stick out, is that um there is a lot there's something up with Memoir's line art, which Memoir's line art has always been, mostly black. And it still in a way is, but now there are parts of it that are lighter and that catch the light in a sort of odd way that you would recognize as being metallic. I don't remember if Raph can see the color gold.
So, it kind of depends. The way that his blindfold works, it removes red from his vision, so everything skews toward green. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, so he can see gold asterisk,
Mm-hmm.
um, it doesn't look like gold would to you or I are our eyes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he's
But it's a distinct enough shade that he can
yeah,
recognize it.
he's lived with this long enough now that he's gotten used to differentiating between different. He can differentiate it from other stuff. He can tell that it's gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there are portions of Memoir's line art that have turned gold to the point of being metallic, and it's very hard to catch, but as he sort of, shifts his wings a little bit, you can hear the way the gold edges on the feathers kind of not like noisily scrape against each other, but it's it's like a muted, softened version of what it sounds like to draw a sword.
Hmm.
Um, and then, of course, the other obvious thing is, well, one of his eyes is very obviously messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
that that's probably the most obvious thing, honestly. Is that one of his eyes is very clearly kind of messed up in that it has gone solid white on the inside and doesn't seem to close properly.
He very gently brings a hand up and just rubs his thumb under the eye, not touching the line art of it at any point.
Mm-hmm.
That's from hitting your head, then I guess.
Yeah, hit the hit my face on the well, and the rest is history. Um, it kind of, I mean, it patched itself up well enough, and he kind of brings his own hand up, and he does actually trace the line art the way that, those three lines under his eye trace all the way down his face and don't move because they are that stiff metal line art.
Mm.
Um, it um, it doesn't hurt or anything. Um, it's just really bright.
Can you see out of that eye?
It, like I said, it's really bright. I can't see much. It's um, he kind of um through Echo, he will send Raph kind of the same image that he showed Phasmus back during that first FPS of, what it's like if he closes, his good eye, where everything is very bright and blown out and blurry and doesn't really look like much.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He sort of
It's
like
kind
pauses
of like
to.
if you tried to take a. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You go first. You go first.
It's sort of like trying to look right into the sun, except always.
He nods a little bit and doesn't say something for a moment. He takes that in, and then goes. So, between the two of us, we're now down to one working eye.
Memoir just cracks up laughing at that.
He can't help the tiny little grin that pulls up at the corner of his mouth. He's being a shit and he knows he's being a shit.
Or just cracks up laughing for like a solid minute. He doesn't have anything he can say to that because I mean, Rat's not wrong. He's not wrong. Memoir just says, uh, something, something family medical history. Poisoning and eye injuries, I guess.
It's not. That's not how that works.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm seeing something of a resemblance.
No, that's just the son following the footsteps of his father.
Well, tomato, tomato.
I don't think that's how that works either.
Memoir sticks his tongue out.
So I suppose
And,
then. Hmm?
hmm? You go.
I suppose then that whole experience has something to do with this ring that I woke up with. And he holds up his hands. On one hand, this ring you've seen a lot before. Just a simple band. And on the other one, there is um, it's a gold band. Very similar looking actually to Memoir's golden line art. Um, with two closed eyes of different shapes. One of them is definitely yours. You've seen it through your best friend's eyes. Um, and a small. It would be. It almost looks like watermelon tourmaline, but it's clearly a piece of glass set into the middle.
Huh. That's, not the focus I made for you.
No, he's still wearing that around his neck. When I
I'd, hmm?
when I woke up, I was wearing it.
Well, then, I would guess in this case correlation does indicate causation. And I woke up and he kind of tilts his head to the side and taps his own echo focus, his earring, which has now also has an added portion of it in the shape of a closed eye. Uh, this had changed a bit. I'm guessing it has something to do with it.
Likely so. Have you seen any of the others? Did they have?
I've seen them. I didn't think to check. I think Gregory's might have looked similar to mine. I didn't ask Matthias.
You did see that Phrasmus now had a chunk of glass in its chest, which definitely had a closed eye
Yeah.
etched on it.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of does wince and like thinking about that and just and Phasmus, well, Phasmus is definitely keeping its close to heart. That was a little scary to see at first, but I mean, hopefully it's okay.
Well, I imagine as a ghost, it can probably shake off a lot of things.
Yeah, Phasmus is real neat.
He certainly, or it, it certainly seemed neat. Strange. It's a lot more confident than I think it realizes.
That's what I've been trying to get it to recognize.
That it would be.
Rasmus is a badass, but
If I recall the story correctly, it stepped in front of and completely no-celled inflict wound spell on your first day of life. So
exactly. I remember I told you that story. Yeah, no, that crazy lady tried to launch across the courtroom like a wild animal to attack me, and it just completely stepped in front of her and no-selled her. It was insane. I was terrified because that looked like it should have fucking hurt, but
I think if it
Memoir
was,
just shrugs and just nope.
I think if it was anything other than what it was, it would have hurt.
Probably would have. I owe them a lot.
I think they'd say the same thing to
They're
you.
actually yeah, I'm sure they'd say that. Actually, the one who told me, put me in contact with you. I don't know if you remember. Something about, oh, what was it? Sisters, aunts, cousins, uncle, something or the other, dogs, teachers,
The
right hand man's.
the chain of people that other people know people by in Einquell gets very convoluted at times and honestly makes my head spin. So I try not to think about it very much.
I think pretty much everyone in Einquell knows each other on some level. We just don't know how we all know each other.
That honestly would not surprise me. Especially given that detective that you're connected to. She seems to know a lot of people.
Well, yeah, she prides herself on it. Lynn knows pretty much everyone.
Hmm.
It's part of how she does her job. She knows the best people to send people to.
There is something to be
Always
said.
has someone in her pocket.
There is something to be said about being the person who knows somebody. Well, case in point, and he gestures between the two of them.
And more laughs.
You'll forgive me if it takes time to adjust to being so connected, won't you?
Of course. I'm sorry I didn't exactly ask first.
Well,
Didn't have much control of what was going on there.
yeah, you didn't really ask for anything of that time, if I was understanding those memories correctly. From what I could
I wish
tell,
I could say for sure. I don't I don't really remember it.
I am not surprised by that. No,
It's all
you
hazy and blurry.
you seemed to have been stumbling towards a, oh, what is the term they use now? Crash out? Breakdown? Is that Bay? Is that
Call it
what
a
it is?
breakdown. Is that what?
Is that Bay? Is that the term the kids use?
No, Dad. No, that is not what that means.
Might be
Marty's
selfish of
just
me.
laughing.
He like watches you just laugh for a moment. Glad to be witnessing you happy. What's your passive perception again?
It is a 14.
14. Okay. Do you have the observant feat?
Do I? I don't think so. What is it? Scroll. Brr, 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 brr. No.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So Memoir doesn't catch this. But for the listening audience, Ref just quietly murmurs, um, "It might be selfish, but I'm rather glad you don't remember." And then sort of shakes himself out of it. Claps his hands a little bit and
I
goes,
am going to ask for explanation on that after FPS, but
"Yeah, that's fine. I can explain it." But he murmurs that, and then shakes his head a little bit, and folds his arms across his chest and goes, "So, why don't we take this conversation somewhere we can sit down and possibly have a nice drink? You know this sound better than I do. Where can we go?"
uh, well, obviously I have a favorite cafe. We've also got my room upstairs. I've got I can order room service if you're looking for something a little more of a private conversation. Um, he kind of like, I'm sure he knows a couple of other places around town where one can go and get food and drinks. I don't have the layout of Halloween Town memorized. I'm gonna be so for real with you.
Yeah. Um, Raph would suggest a restaurant because then they can get food, and Memoir can eat, and Raph can make sure that Memoir gets something to eat.
Memoir will just kind of laugh at that and just shake his head and say, everybody's so worried about that now.
I think you'll find we have a good reason to be.
Okay, my defense, I was doing my best. I was out in the woods in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
And did you or did you not have access to the magical pieces of glass that allow you to mentally communicate with someone across long distances to, I don't know, ask someone to bring you a sandwich?
Okay, yes, I had access, but you need mental focus to be able to do that, and that was a crapshoot on any day of the week. You try trying to send a clear message when your brain's slingshotting between 7 different people.
That does sound like a challenge.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to keep one of them's mouth shut because they'd terrify everybody.
I don't know that they did. I'm sure they terrified you, and honestly, pretty valid. But, well, they were you. They were a part of you. They were part of my son. I don't think there's any part of you that could really scare me. Things that you do, things that happen to you, but not anything that's part of you.
I'm not so sure. I mean, I hope you're right, but he kind of nervously fiddles with, the one joint on his hand that, twists and unscrews and screws it back on.
You trust me.
Of course.
Then trust that I know what I'm talking about. I've looked into the face of remorseless killers. Once you've done that, there's really not that much else that can scare you.
Not if you saw that when looking in a mirror. Oh, looking through someone else's eyes because you can't stomach mirrors even after everything you've dealt with.
I think perhaps we have now.
Memoir kind of tilts his head. He doesn't quite understand what you mean by that.
Raph is choosing not to explain it. But he does sort of roll his hand and go, that part of you is a demonstration of what ends you can be pushed to in the event of everything going catastrophically wrong. With a little bit of luck, those necessary components, the requirements of situation and environment and background, the motive, the cause, will never be assembled for you to become anything like that. And I know that there are people on your side who would work hard to prevent such things. It's okay to fear what you can do, but if it's any consolation, know that I don't.
Why is it that with everyone I talk to, I'm getting more and more the impression that I am the only one who's got the sense to be scared of me?
Well, probably because you're friends with a bunch of fools and nitwits.
Well, there's that. Kind of lightly bats Raph with one of his wings.
He like shuffles a little, like mockingly, like, "Oh, I've been hit." But he shakes his head a little bit and goes, "From the sense that I got in Whirl combined, the people who know you have also seen their share of tragedy and their share of darkness. Quite literally, if the gleans I caught from a couple of them were any indication. And there is that." And he like makes a vague gesture off in a like the direction of the manor, like the manor, the thralls manor, thing
Mhm.
that you're all dealing with as well. It's a little bit difficult to be scared of a theoretical ghost than when you've got your attention focused on that.
Yeah, bigger threats.
Hmm. Actual threats.
Hmm. Them, I wouldn't mind being scared of me.
If what I heard was any had any truth to it, how you appeared when you finally found me, I rather think they will be.
What?
Did I not hear correctly that you came to the manor dripping in black corrosive blood?
I don't remember anything like that.
Interesting. And he will like pause, and dig up the memory of being told that, and sort of just nudge it toward you.
Memoir, like, observes the memory, but he'll send back his own memory of just he remembers, when the whole thing happened, where Brawl went after Raph. Memoir remembers being terrified. He remembers being angry. And then it was the next day.
Hmm.
And he doesn't remember ever getting closure or answers for that. He remembers being worried for months until you finally responded. Or rather, until he finally managed to pull his head together enough to reach out to you for you to respond.
I think the sort of best description of how Raph is feeling at the moment is, so I am confusion.
Memoir is also confusion, and Memoir is also a little what the fuck?
Hmm. Raph, by contrast, confused, but also thoughtful. Hmm. Interesting. A puzzle to solve. That is bizarre.
Yeah, bizarre is a fucking word for it. I don't remember anything in between, so it's possible that something happened, but if something happened, that would be really, really bad, because I would have no idea what I did in that time, and I could have done something terrible if I came back covered in blood. Specifically covered in their blood. Oh, gods. Who told you that?
And he has to take a minute to think about it. Because RJ, am taking a minute to think about who would have told him that. And he finds he doesn't remember. He just knows he was told it at some point. Out of character. It was probably Rosetta.
Mm-hmm. I think Memoir does kind of tuck his wings around himself almost like a hug or a shield and like wrap his arms around himself and take a bit of a breath um in a manner that is unfortunately very clearly practiced by this point. He kind of takes a breath, sighs. Can't do anything about what I don't remember. I don't remember it. It wasn't me. Ever. Fuck.
Raph is pulsing unconditional love and support at you as you do this.
I'm more kind of like half conscious of it, moves a little closer to Raph, and knocks his forehead against your shoulder.
You'll pull the feather burrito in for a hug.
Yeah. I don't like shit that fucks with my memory.
Well, it was only the once. I'm willing to write it off as a one-time fluke if you are, and we'll keep an eye out for if it happens again. After all, you're
Yeah.
connected to us now. He just sort of like gently taps you in the forehead with his ring.
I think Memoir does make like, you know how cats have a cat activation noise?
The yeah.
You get a bird activation noise. You just get you just get the bird equivalent of the cat activation noise.
Just a quiet little chirp.
Yeah, just a little beep.
Mm.
He kind of blinks at that.
I suppose,
And
technically
then
speaking, you're a lot more than 7 people in your own head now. Then again, so are we all.
I mean, the good thing about it is that it's fully voluntary, from how it should work anyway.
Hmm.
If it becomes involuntary at any point, then that's something else.
Quite. It's, all too easy to slip into. Though I suspect that's a flaw uniquely my own.
You've got previous experience.
Oh, yes.
Memoir does kind of reach up and fiddle with his necklace because, oh yeah, Raph would probably notice. Memoir doesn't have his watch anymore.
Did you lose that in the redesign?
Lose. Oh, the watch?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um. You guys, you put my soul somewhere else. Let's put it that way.
He, like, lifts a hand, um, not like touching it, but like hovering over the ring hanging from the black, what's the word? Ribbon. The black ribbon around your neck.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Um, Memoir kind of nods, and as you hover your hand over the ring, you can actually feel a very faint heartbeat of basically of magic coming off of it.
It's a strange thing for him to feel, given that he doesn't really have any magic. Um, he's
Mm-hmm.
got a little bit of, innate magic, but only a little bit. So it's strange to be able to sense it so clearly. But it's
Mm-hmm.
familiar and comforting, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Some people choose to wear their heart on their sleeve. You've taken it to a whole new level, I think.
Well, I've kind of always done that, haven't I?
Hmm.
I don't. I think I like this better. I don't feel. There's parts of me that don't come from the same place anymore. And it feels smaller, quieter, but less empty.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah?
He hmm, he pushes forward a memory, and it's familiar almost. There is a sense of connection of knocking on the door to someone else's mind, or having the door to your mind knocked on and letting someone else in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same as with Echo.
Mm-hmm.
There's not it's not like a hard door like with Echo. It's more like passing through a curtain.
Mm-hmm.
Two people in one place. And it's small, but you're suddenly more than just one. You are two, but you are you. And they are them, but you are both of you. He lets the memory linger for a moment before pulling it back.
Memoir does like nod, and there is that, sensation of understanding and familiarity, and basically the idea of, yeah, it is kind of like that. And then a couple clarifiers of like the feeling of something that you've been shifting and adjusting and trying to get to fit into a space, and then you finally find the angle at which it fits in just the way it was supposed to. Or a feeling of a feeling of hanging. The best feeling he can come up with to describe it is the idea of hanging in space for so long and being aware of all the stars and all the emptiness around you, and feeling like that emptiness is a part of you, only for gravity to suddenly take effect and you fall into the ocean. And it's still so much. The world is still so big, but it's smaller and it's tangible, and it's a space in which you can move. You don't feel so weightless and aimless and incapable of affecting change. The world is affected by you just as much as you are affected by it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The best way to describe it is it's going from feeling like a concept to feeling real.
Mm. He takes these these mental images, these allegories, um, hold on to them for a moment, and then returns them with understanding and a little bit of hesitation, like he's trying to decide on something. And then the hesitation resolves, and he pushes forward a different memory this time. One of being untethered, of being incomplete, almost broken, maybe. This sense that there is something missing, that you are not wholly within yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that there are jagged edges that you catch on every so often and are startled back to reality, remembering that you are you are alone. And then a knock, that first knock, and it's jarring and it brings you back to reality again, but it's different than catching on those jagged edges. It's softer almost. It's like someone reaching out and taking your hand in a pitch black room where you can't feel anything. And he goes, "It was traumatic for everyone involved, but I cannot say that I am not relieved that it happened, that you are able to feel the way that you do now."
And I think Memoir takes a minute processing that memory, that set of ideas. He kind of thinks about it for a while and he nods and says, I mean, given what the alternative is, I'm grateful you guys were there. I wish there had been another option.
Oh, don't mistake me, I do too.
I'm glad you were all there. I just wish you didn't have to be. The last thing I ever want to do is hurt any of you. And I did. A lot. And I know over and over again people are going to tell me, oh, you don't have to be sorry. But I am. Even if I don't have to be, I am sorry. So I never wanted to put any of you through that.
Well,
Maybe if I had thought to pull myself together a little earlier, maybe I could have found a different answer.
one can ponder the what ifs for as long as they live. And perhaps there were things you could have done, but ultimately, we can't change the past. The first step to doing better is to realize what you've done wrong. which you have. You have acknowledged that, unintentionally as it may be, you have hurt people. That is a part of life. Inevitably, you will hurt people, intended or otherwise. The next step is to continue learning from your mistakes, and I have faith that you will. You're a very smart bird, smarter than me.
Somehow I doubt that.
Then doubt. I know I'm right.
We shall have to agree to disagree here. You are incredibly smart.
Hmm.
You're one of the
Well,
smartest
I
people
didn't
I
say that
know.
I'm not smart, I'm just saying you're smarter.
And I'm saying that's nonsense. I can give you a list of evidence as to why, but then you're gonna get sad at me.
I will. And you would make your old man sad? You would do that?
You know I can't. That's why this argument isn't fair.
Exactly. But back to what I was going to say. I won't tell you not to feel sorry, because telling someone not to feel a kind of way is ultimately an exercise in futility, and I really would rather expend the energy on something else. Instead, what I will say is don't wallow in it. Feel it, acknowledge it, and then put it down and use it as fuel to do better. You say you don't want to hurt us, then try not to in future. I don't know. It all sounds simple when you try and say it, but it's much harder to do in practice.
Oh, that's everything. Everything sounds easy in the books and in the explanations and in the here's what happened after the fact, but then you actually get up into it and it's 70 bajillion different layers of complication and confusion.
Mm-hmm. They say hindsight is 2020. I certainly wouldn't know. But,
And
well,
more like a lightly baps Raph with one of his wings again.
I don't suppose you would know either, given that you don't have vision in one of your eyes now.
I. I can't argue that, and I hate it.
It's easy to point out what went wrong after the fact. In the moment, you did the best you could. Did it fall short of perfect? Of course. But no one is perfect.
Emma kind of thinks about that for a minute. I think before I would have said nobody's perfect, but I want to try to be. But I don't think that is true anymore. I think I'm kind of done with perfect. I think I'm gonna settle for good.
Not just good, but good enough. Perfect is for omniscient deities who know everything and can do everything and can control the world to their whims. Us mere mortals, good enough is fine.
I don't think even they can handle perfect.
Oh, I don't know. You've heard some of the preachers before. You just about believe that there's some paragon of virtue who does nothing wrong.
Anyone who tries to say that is selling something.
Oh, most definitely. Oftentimes religion. But I've always been cynical.
And I learned from the best.
Oh, no, you didn't. You learned from second best. If you learned from the best, Chihiro would have been here to teach you.
Yeah, well, she kind of did through you.
You know, that's exactly the kind of argument that she would make.
And then that, and you saying that is proof to my argument.
I see her in you, you know. You got the same drive.
It kind of gets a little quiet at that. I really do wish I could have met her. More than just, well, you know.
More than just.
I told you about he kind of grimaces and there's, the flicker of memory across the connection of, you know, that time of feeling sick and delirious and unsure of what's real and what's not. Talking with someone you're not sure is there and begging her not to take you away. And her reassurance that it's not your time yet.
Raph grimaces as well. Far be it for me to speak of someone else, but she would have loved you. She would
You
be
think?
she would be so proud of you, Memoir. He has to actually pause a second there and catch his breath. Um, Reaches up and wipes a tear from his eye.
Man. I don't think Memoir really knows how to respond to that because Memoir's not great at feelings. So he just kind of, I mean, he's already hugging Raph, but he just kind of tucks his wings around the both of them. Again, it's like being wrapped up in a blanket or a shield. Just he doesn't really say anything.
Raph takes a couple deep breaths, regains his composure. Well, regardless, I'm glad you're okay.
And I'm glad I didn't just pass my brain breakage onto you.
Oh, you would be far from the first. That ship has sailed.
Dad!
What? It's true.
Get just concerned bird noises.
The Raph, they just sort of like laughs a little bit and just like pats up your head, musses up your hair.
That turns into just an indignant squawk. Hey! Matthias spent a long time getting that to look pretty.
Ah, well, my mistake. And he will like run his fingers back through it to get it all in line again.
He helped me figure out you're apparently supposed to use a bunch of different stuff. He kind of looks at Raph a little confused, like, "Did you know that? Did you know that you're supposed to use a bunch of different stuff on your hair and not just one thing?"
Technically speaking, if you are going the full 9 miles and properly pampering your hair, there are multiple products you can use, yes. Me personally, I'm blind, I have a built in excuse, so I just shampoo and conditioner, that's good enough for me.
I just use the two-in-one stuff. It's so much faster.
There is something to be said about that. However, when you're used to a certain level of standard, as I would assume Matthias is, given how put together he seems,
Oh yeah, he's real fancy.
he kind of pauses mid sentence and then pushes over a memory to you. Um, sorry about that. He pauses mid sentence, pushes a memory over to you. Of his college dorm mate shrieking at him.
Oh
he
no.
he was going to go to bed, uh, having after having just taken a shower, hair still wet. Like he toweled it dry, but not like fully blow dried it. His roommate shrieking at him and then grabbing him by the shoulders, pushing him into a chair, and starting to run through a whole list of products that he needs to put in his hair, dry his hair, but all these products in before he goes to bed. And then he needs silk pillowcases, and he needs a bonnet, and he cuts the memory off before it gets too much further. But like you know what he mean. You can kind of tell the vibe here.
Memoir is just giggling by the end of it and just, I think, in turn, like, pushes over some of the memories of Matthias's reaction. Specifically, I think of the multiple times, like, Memoir would go to, turn off the water to get out of the shower, and you'd just hear Matthias from the other room just like, "That wasn't long enough, go back."
He's laughing as well.
I swear, he was expecting me to scrub a layer of my skin off.
Well, a pause, a look down at you. I actually have no idea how that would work for you. Exfoliation works fairly well for real kind, because of how our biology works, but I don't know how that functions for tunes.
I think it varies from tune to tune. For me, I it so when you like use an eraser too much on a piece of paper and it starts to like get thinner and then you can like hold it up to a light and see stuff on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like I was doing that but to my everything.
Hmm. Probably don't do that then.
I mean, it didn't hurt or anything, but it was weird. It felt like it was weird. I didn't like it.
Well, that's a perfectly good reason not to do that again if you didn't enjoy it.
Exactly. I do need to start taking better care of my wings, though, because I have been having a lot less crash landings since he helped me fix them.
Were you not preening?
Dad, 7 different perspectives, one brain trying to get them to do anything is pulling teeth.
I will concede that. However, that's 7 different versions of you, all of whom have wings.
Yeah, all of whom have wings, maybe about 3 of which have functional wings.
He will pause. You can't really argue that point.
Just like list off, just like, I mean, Renesmee's were fucked 7 ways to Sunday. He couldn't take the bandages off without them starting to bleed color everywhere. Strex's, I saw that. And he kind of grimaces, just like, ugh, shudders. Lonnie's never grew in properly. They were mostly down feathers, so they didn't need the same kind of care. The only ones who took active care of their wings for flight were Del Rio and Amaranth.
Lord Lachesis?
Latches just didn't like to fly. Too showy. Too visible.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah. They actually usually kept theirs under their coat. Only stopped doing it because after Hugh got his in their timeline, he got on their case.
Raph pauses, assigning names to voices, and just like, you can see the sort of like, yeah, I can see that happening sort of expression on his face.
Kind of weird not having all of those perspectives anymore. It's like they're not gone. It's it's like before I was trying to look into like 3 bajillion different types of kind of like thinks about it for a moment, then sends you kind of the mental image of, or not even a mental image, I think just straight up a memory of like what it was like trying to do anything in the state that he was in, of just sitting at that picnic table in the barn trying to consider a course of action and having every different part of his mind come up with different reasons why he should or why he shouldn't, different arguments, all of which sound like his voice, but none of which sound like his thought processes. And then what it's like now, where it's just his thoughts, but it's like there's a different layer of color on everything. Like everything has a little more focus and a little more context.
Raph does grimace. um, it's not quite the same, but and he sends back a memory of his own. Um, sitting in a bed, not able to see anything, just trying to lift his arm, feeling like half his body is disconnected and unable to really control the nerves in his hands and his arms just
Mm-hmm.
twitching, trying to move. I understand.
Honestly, it's.
I understand a little
I'm
bit.
sorry. Go ahead.
He just goes, I understand a little bit, I think.
It's honestly not too different. It's just instead of for me, instead of my body not reacting, it was I would try to do something, anything, and I could think of a million reasons why I shouldn't. And eventually, when you keep arguing with yourself over every little thing, you stop being able to trust your own judgment. And you eventually just get to the point of being fucking tired. Just laying down and not doing anything.
Yes, that
0
makes.
out of 10 experience. Would not recommend.
Yes, I can understand that.
Very much do not want to go back.
Yeah, there's. He's just gonna. Yeah, no, that's fair.
0 out of 10. Would not recommend. I am not going back anytime soon. God help me.
Hmm.
He does not want to do that again. He kind of sighs and says, You were there the whole time, weren't you?
How do you mean?
I can't remember what happened when I broke, but I I remember I remember bits and pieces, like dreams almost. And you were always there, I think. Whatever whatever I was talking to, it felt like a lot of people, but more often than anyone else, it felt like you and it felt like Phasmus.
We were always there. I think the others came and went. Um, I'm. I can only recall one time when all of us were together, but yes, we were there the whole time. Rasmus and I.
I think if it had to be anyone, I am glad it was you two. I love the others, but there are some things that I would prefer to keep from them.
Well, that was the point of that one, was it not? All those things that you'd rather keep hidden. All those parts of you that you didn't want to show.
Oh, that's the trick of it, isn't it? They all had something like that. And he kind of reaches up and runs his fingers along the black ribbon of the necklace. That's what this is. You can't have all good. And he kind of taps his pinky finger against the silver ring, or all bad. And he, wraps the black ribbon around his fingers. There's something worth saving in all of those pieces. Something that I needed, something that fit. And there was also something that didn't belong. Something that made each piece stop being me. I'm not I'm not analytical and flexible and capable of being anyone the way Lynn is. I'm not I'm not anywhere near as flighty or as chaotic as Gregory. It also means I'm not anywhere near as spontaneous or good at coming up with things on the fly. I'm not as trusting or as kind as Hugh as much as I wish I could be. But I'm also not as closed off and cautious as Decimal is. There are points where you borrow too much from someone else and you start being them and stop being yourself. Those all had to be gotten rid of. Those were what got left behind. The good parts are the necessary parts, the pieces that fit both. I think that's what you guys were finding. That's what it felt like. It felt like everything about me got shattered into a bunch of pieces, and then you guys were bringing me back the biggest ones, the important ones. Because there was too much, some of it had to be trimmed.
You say shattered and he winces. Um, Sort of absently rubbing um his uh his thumb against the palm of the opposite hand. But he listens quietly to everything that you're saying. And he goes, I've heard the belief that we are a patchwork of the parts that we take from other people. I don't know how much of that is true. I think there is always something that is uniquely us. We may borrow habits, we may borrow clothes, we may borrow other looks unrelated to fashion, but can't discount it entirely. It was very literal for you, but generally, trends, people mimicking others, that is very real.
And Memoir kind of laughs and gestures at himself, like, yeah, well, walking proof of that.
Hmm. Even still, Lachesis was not you, but he was not Decimal. Lonnie was not you, but he was not Hugh. Amaranth was not you, but he was not Asclepius either.
No, they
I.
were. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You might have felt less like yourself. You likely did feel less like yourself, given the state of things, but I don't know that you weren't. You weren't them. You were someone else because you were. You still had that uniqueness that only you have, and you needed help getting it back. That's fine. I'd be happy to do it again, though maybe not so literally next time.
Yeah, no, if I ever get to the point where I needed that literally again, please just put me out of my fucking misery.
If by put you out of your misery you mean bop you on the head and then drag you to get some pampering, yes, gladly. Though, speaking of which, I did want to ask. I won't order you because you are, in mentality, if not in years, a grown adult. Spend less time at the barn, please. Part of what caused that spiral was the isolation. You didn't have anyone you could reach out to easily when things started getting bad. I understand the need for your own space, and you know that I'm more than happy to give you that, but don't don't isolate yourself like that again.
I don't think I want to go back there. Not not anytime soon, anyway. Memoir kind of looks uncomfortable as he, you know, rubs a hand against the back of his neck and kind of looks at the ground. I don't honestly. He kind of he's hesitating. There's you can roll insight if you want.
I would love to roll insight. What's your insight modifier again? Right, and then okay, it's just that. That's fine. Uh, da 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 da. 34.
34. Yeah, okay. You can read this kid like a book. He there is something he wants to ask and he's not sure how. It reminds you a bit of when Memoir was younger, when Memoir was still Lethy, when he didn't know what the word for found family were, but he clearly found ease and comfort and safety in being around you and didn't have a word for it. it's similar to that where it's I have something I want to ask, possibly specifically something I want to ask for, but I don't know how to ask it. Or maybe even I don't know if it's okay to ask it.
He notices all of this and just quietly goes, I will never censor you for asking a question.
I know that. It's I can't there's something I can't leave Halloween Town now because bastard ass motherfucker who stole my color
He snorts.
is out there causing problems and has proven that they're all too willing to all too willing to come after what I love. And I don't want them to go after you at home again. But when they've been sorted and whatever is coming for them has come and went, whatever part I have to play in that. When that's all done with, um, do you think I could come to stay in Framore with you for a bit?
He smiles and then bites his lip like he's holding back laughter.
Memoir like immediately goes red in the face, like, don't laugh at me.
He quickly like waves his hands like, no, no, I'm not laughing at you. I promise. You know the spare bedroom in my flat
Uh,
above the office.
the one you had me stay at a couple times while I was first getting my feet under me.
Hmm. I have been trying to figure out for the better part of several months how to offer that room to you in a way that didn't feel presumptuous. So, yes, you are more than willing. You're more than welcome to come and stay with me in Fitmore Town for however long you like.
There's like a very visible blue screen moment, and then just ah.
That that breaks him. He starts laughing.
I think Memoir does like he is still a little embarrassed, and he does just kind of bat rap with one of his wings again.
He just laughs harder.
You are getting the indignant flappies.
There is much laughter.
I think Memoir just like eventually starts laughing too. But he does, make a show of theatrically pouting at being the subject of laughter.
Ay, mijo. What a pair we make.
Well, my excuse is that I'm 2 years old. I don't know what you got going for you.
I didn't want to presume. I didn't want to assume anything. You know what they say about assuming things.
He kind of tilts his head.
Oh, you've not heard that one. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Huh. Yeah, no, I've never heard that one.
Well, congratulations, now you have.
Huh. I guess I have. He kind of um laughs a bit and shakes his head and says, "But part of the reason I clung to the bond so much is because he kind of grimaces as he tries to explain himself, but just I don't really have a home in town. I live in a hotel room, and I've been living in a hotel room since I showed up. And he kind of, again, he looks embarrassed because he's just like, this is really cheesy, but staying with you always felt like I think what home is supposed to be like.
He can't help the semi-bashful grin that curls across his face at that. Although he does clear his throat and try to keep himself composed.
Memoir like sees that, kind of looks away and huffs and just says, "Also, I miss sunlight."
That does draw another laugh.
I'm serious. The best we get out here is overcast.
Well, there is a certain vibe to this place, I'll admit.
Yeah, and it works for the people who live here. And this place has been, my hometown since I was 2 minutes old and freshly accused of murder. Maybe I should have been looking for somewhere else to stay earlier.
Possibly. Probably. Yes.
But I didn't get to go somewhere with sunshine. I think until I met you. Going to
That's
Fremore Town for the first time was the first time I actually got to be out in daylight. Full daylight.
that's a tragedy. I hope you understand that. Please come and stay with me, if only so you can get some sunlight.
I need to be a houseplant for a bit.
Yeah, I. He like does take a long moment to like respond to that, and then just eventually pushes forward the image of you as a very striking topiary. Whole
Memoir
like
breaks out laughing.
dryad ass bit.
Memoir breaks out laughing at that.
I Yes, you can. You can stay as long as you like for as many times as you like. You can stay and not leave. You can stay and leave immediately. Do as you will. The room is yours. I will get you a copy of the key.
Memoir does smile at that and says, "Thanks, Dad. I'd I'd honestly leave as soon as possible, but again,
You've got
bitch,
to
you stole
do.
my color.
You've got to do the whole hero thing. Yes.
I gotta do plot girl shit."
Oh, girl, shit.
I'm hoping this mess will be over with soon. It doesn't
Um,
feel like it can hang for much longer.
now that you said it, it'll probably be another 6 months. But
He kind of, I think he does just kind of dramatically flop over in the grass.
he's hoping it's only 3.
Memoir just makes a dramatic groaning noise from the ground.
Up. And he will reach down and sort of scruff you up, sort of just like walk with you like hell's half a foot off the ground, and start meandering in the direction of the restaurant you pointed out, and go, I don't know what time it is. I don't know what the sun is. I'm saying it's lunchtime. Let's go get something to eat.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Memoir is just not fighting, not trying to get down. This is his life now. He has been scruffed.
You have been scruffed. Do not resist. He will put you back down on your feet after a little bit, if only because he does not have the strength to keep you held that long. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, and also because he doesn't know where shit is in this town and needing you to guide the way.
Yeah.
But, nonetheless, they go off in search of food.
Hell yeah. Good time.
Good damn. Unless you got anything
And
else
with that,
to
I
add.
believe our Nope, I'm good. With that, I believe our FPS is drawn to a close.
Sweet.
Everybody say goodbye to our listeners. Bye bye, listeners.
Bye bye.